walking the slide of the bayou. I was fine little man down and fine other woman.
I first saw Cornbread Jambalaya Jackson III in a very small club in New Orleans about 10 years ago. And I knew from the very first moment I saw him on stage that he was not like the other musicians playing that night. There was something very special about Cornbread. When I heard he'd be doing a tour of the United Kingdom this year, I knew I had to be the one to speak to him and introduce him to the country. Cornbread is the biggest genius I've ever met.
I ain't never seen a forest before where you could see the ground. Back in the swamplands, all this ground would be pure swamp water.
It's quite different, is it, from New Orleans?
Yes, staggeringly so. I would say the most familiar place I've been here to my hometown in the bayou was Aldershot.
Why was that?
Well, there was just a load of vermin everywhere.
Well, have you been to London before, the busy parts?
I've grown up in Hackney.
So, do you think you might have remembered who's joining you in the tour?
Yes, I know who's joining me in the tour. But I organized it. Well, we've got an old jazz man supporting us. It's called Exposed Ass Crack Jackson.
Yes, I've heard of his. I've heard his records before.
We done a lot of stuff together in the 30s and so forth.
What instrument does he play? Exposed Ass Crack?
Man, I don't know.
Hasn't he told you? He's playing on stage with you, isn't he, in a few weeks?
This is a lot of fucking questions. I'm trying to change the way the lenses of my eyes focus. That's why I'm wearing these glasses.
Do you want to go through there, or are you particularly pulled in that direction? I know jazz people like you sort of go with the flow, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes, let's go this way.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you not have any fondness for the British countryside? Must be quite different from
You think you fucking found me here?
Right there, Cornbread. Quite alright, Cornbread.
Sorry. I must have seen a ghost. Well, you see, jazz is the message. Jazz is its own message. And if you don't understand the modern jazz, that's fine. You just keep listening to the Louis Armstrong and the Kanye on Spotify. It don't matter. I'm going to keep on doing my thing, and I expect you're going to keep on doing your thing as well. When I was 22 years of age, I seen Winston Churchill walking around New Orleans. And I said to him, Mr. Churchill, you got some chutzpah coming to New Orleans when you know that the U.S. has a considerable German population. And it's during World War II. And he said some shit like, and then I said, well, fair enough. And then I sat down at the piano, and I could not help but write the following song. Winston Churchill blues. The big fat man, he got a big pug dog face. He come to New Orleans by the grace of God. Go on, ooh, diddly doo, diddly doo, diddly doo. This is the Winston Churchill blues. And I forget how the rest of it went.
I think mostly the same as that, really, on repeat.
No, it was very complex. One of the perks of being a well-known jazz musician is that you know the names of all sorts of cats. You got Louis Armstrong, Kanye. You got Deviled Egg Tompkinson. You got Louis Marchmont. You got Bad William. You got even worse William. You got a Tree Stump Wilkinson. You got Jolie Helicopter Calzone. You got Timber Frame. I went to this little jazz club and I thought I'll play one last jazz club. And I sit down to play this ditty and I enter a trance. A trance. And there I am, watching my fingers go clippity-clop and a dingle-dong. And then when I look back at the crowd 1 hour later, this is what I see. Ash! Men, women, children, reduced to ash.
That's the power of good music, isn't it?
Incinerated!
I think that's the power of jazz, if you ask me. I think it takes you to another form, whether that form is ash or whatever.
I'm getting hot just thinking about it.
Well, shall we... You told me that you would be prepared to do a little jam session in my studio, is that correct?
Goodness, yes.
Well, perhaps we should go back and play some music. How about that?
Hot dog!
Probably try a couple of numbers, Cornbread, is that right?
I mean, you want to play me a song? I'll be very happy to critique.
No, well, we mentioned both of us playing. I've got your instruments there on the table. I thought we could play a song together. So, Down in the Bayou, how's that?
Why, yeah, sure.
You ready, Cornbread?
Yeah, just give me a minute. Why don't you,
Or I can lead you in, how like that? And then you can...
Yes,
Okay.
We're down in the river, on the bayou. Down in the bayou. Down. Oh.
Well, that was fantastic. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well, I still got it after all these years, and you didn't do too bad neither.